Michael J. Minio, 7:27 a.m. on October 25th, 2025, and here we have another medical record to look at. Now this medical record is a manufactured record, complete, totally falsified. I did not have an appointment on January 26, 2011, and I never met a Fausto Petruzziello, MD, and he's the top dog over there, I believe, over at CAREMEDICA, okay? They have a few facilities in Connecticut, but the ones that I'm familiar with were in North Haven and Hamden. Now, it says here, reason for appointment, new patient. Now, I had been using them as a walk-in. I had seen a guy named Cosenza. He was a physician's assistant. I probably saw him a half a dozen times. I used the clinic. I used it like a walk-in clinic. If I happen to need somebody. So between 2010, 9, 8, 7, for 4 years, I probably saw the guy a half a dozen times. Okay? Maybe. So I did not establish care. I did not go to them. I never knew, I should say, that they had appointed themselves. They literally appointed themselves as being my primary care provider. Okay? I didn't go establish care. I didn't go to on that day to have CAREMEDICA be my primary care provider. I didn't even. I became aware of the term primary care provider during the Social Security Administration disability hearing, not hearing, but the process. I noted that they were listed as my primary care physician. Okay, and I thought to myself, oh well, they just did that, just automatic because I didn't have one, and I had used them as a walk-in. And I said, I guess they just did it. And that was going way back before I was a total trusting person. I didn't realize everything was integrated. The whole government approach. In other words, everybody is integrated whole, complete. Okay? I had no idea how everything was working. I was just a trusting, typical American these days. I'd say a lot of people are still way too trusting of this system. Okay? So here I am, new patient, here to establish, right? And then you'll notice with a lot of these fraudulent records, you see a question mark, left eye, conjunctivitis, right? The last time I had conjunctivitis, I'll tell you when I was home with my kids, and they caught them from other kids, maybe at the gym, they have a play area and all the kids are in there while people are working out. I remember going to a wrestling match with my two boys back in '93, and I had conjunctivitis, and I was thinking to myself, my eyes were red and everything, and I was sitting in the bleachers watching the wrestling match, and I was thinking to myself, I never got conjunctivitis as a wrestler, and here I am, and with my two kids, and that was the last time. All right. So you're looking at now. Let's go down a little further. What do we have here? A prescription for Siloxane. That's the treatment. Okay, I can guarantee you. I mean, I have all the pharmacy records. If I go look up that Silox for this appointment, because I already did it, I believe, for all the records that were manufactured when they had a prescription. And guess what? They match. And also with the complete total list of pharmacy prescriptions that had been issued, prescribed, that were, picked up. There were doctors I had never met with prescriptions. How's that? So guess what? The pharmacy is integrated with it, with the entire whole. Now, this is, you know what I love about public shaming? This is public shaming. I mean, public shaming is in these days, isn't it? But I'm not publicly shaming Fausto Petruzziello, MD. I'm not publicly shaming him, okay? He got the order. He was given the authorization. You know whose ass I want? Those that provided the authorization to have your integrated network assault me, gang stalk me, okay? And I can go on and on and on. I'm not going to do that here. So no, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, gee. It's like, I don't even know what the guy, I don't even know what he looks like. Okay. But again, he's following the order. That's right. Because we live apparently in some kind of a Nazi world, or I don't know what kind of a world we live in, but it's totalitarian. That's all I have to say. So here I am, an HIV positive, always on meds, always undetectable, and also on PrEP. And you can say, well, PrEP wasn't, authorized yet. That was authorized in 2012. So, when my son was born HIV negative and he was conceived while we were both under 200, which means we were officially had AIDS, and we both had some viral load, okay? We weren't like high, but there was viral load, okay? So, obviously, my son's in there for 10 months. He comes out, he's negative. The doctor had indicated to my significant other that if she became pregnant, as long as she was on her meds, it was like a 99.99, whatever, And so, when she wanted a baby, we did it. Okay? And I figured, well, for the 0.00 whatever it is, I'm going to trust God for that part. So I was on PrEP, doing hookups, okay? And, on a gay hookup site, right? With men, right? What was the big emergency? Oh my God. Michael is intimately dangerous. Imminently. He's dangerous. Whew. Really? Enough where I get no due process at all. And you just ram through what? The order comes down from where? The state. They gives the order, they give the authorization. The entire network system is trained. And let me tell you, they are really, really good at this shit. I noticed when I identified that there was a system like this in 2021 in a complaint, I didn't have as much detail, but I knew one existed. These people are really good. They do this a lot. That tells me, the interesting thing is, I committed no crime. But the state sure did. Okay? The medical system, behavioral system sure did. And you know what's disturbing? I mean, even Apex Pharmacy in Hamden did. But you know what? It's not a crime because it's authorized. So you have a system in place. As a matter of fact, the system in Connecticut, the Connecticut Behavioral Health Partnership with Yale, they put together a doozy of a system, okay? They really did. And it was based on the vision of a guy named Kirk, a PhD from Yale, who was, I guess, had a nickname of Captain Kirk. And of course, when you start thinking about Star Wars, you start thinking about what? Warp speed, right? Let me tell you, they could process your ass in. It doesn't matter whether you're mentally ill or not. If the code comes down, if the authorization comes down, and again, we're looking at the Milgram experiment here. You know the Milgram experiment? When the authority figure gives the order, people execute it, even if they know they're harming the person. Okay? They are willing to ratchet this right up to the point where they'll kill you in their system. You think I'm kidding? Okay? This system was implemented nationwide through SAMHSA. Okay? And again, the woman who headed that, she happened to be a Yale PhD. And she was appointed by Biden. So the Biden administration implemented, okay, this program nationally that was originated in Connecticut within the Medicaid system. Totally integrated. So if you're in a behavioral health patient, everywhere you go, everywhere you meet, they're treating you. Everybody. It's totally fucking ridiculous. Excuse my French, because it's ridiculous. But that's what happens. So you're constantly being evaluated, no matter where you go. You're being followed around by DARPA. It's actually HARPA for health. But it's still DARPA. And then, of course, you have Microsoft, surveillance. And there's others, okay? So the bottom line is this. This is a fully integrated system that justifies fraud. Complete. You're looking at a record that was created from scratch. It looks really good, doesn't it? Thank you, Apex. And again, I'm not going to go down to your store and I live nowhere near you, but if I did, I wouldn't be down there getting in your face or causing you problems. You're part of the whole government. You're part of the whole society approach. You're part of the open society. You're part of all this. You're just part of the network. You're doing what is okay. So in your mind, so what, we're filling prescriptions the guy's never going to see. Something else. Oh, and speaking of prescriptions, when I was going through my medical records, there was one prescription. I don't have the record in front of me, so don't ask me. But anyways, I had a nasty scrape on my shin, and he gave me a prescription. And I didn't realize it was expensive stuff until, I don't know, some time later, quite a time later. And when I was doing my investigation, that prescription had been refilled 26 times. 2 of them, 24 times initially, but then they gave another refill for 2 more. So the prescription for 26, it was picked up 26 times. Now, what was the point of that? To make me look like I had a problem? So I learned that it was expensive, and it was, again, I have to have my forensic in front of me, but sometime later, probably after the call had gone, 2 more refills were given, authorized around that time. And what does the doc say to me? He just tells me, he goes, "Oh, that's very expensive." I'm like, yeah, like, okay, like, what was the point of that? Okay, it's expensive. I'm thinking to myself, right? And I didn't know that it had been refilled 26 times. We have a big problem in this country because the network, this community health, this behavioral health initiative is dangerous. I can guarantee you that there's all kinds of people that are suffering, all kinds of people with misdiagnoses, all kinds of people that were fraudulently set up and railroaded, and then what happens? They end up getting a treatment order from a probate judge like I did. But I'm going to tell you, I don't know your name, Mr. Judge, but the bottom line is you ordered me to be tortured is what you did. You didn't realize it. You didn't realize that, oh, everything looks great. Everything looks fantastic. Everything looks wonderful. Except I wasn't there. I had no attorney there. We had no opportunity to review evidence. We had no opportunity to do squat. And to make things worse, 9.5 years this stuff was running in the background with the whole treatment. Now remember, everything is networked, integrated, and then you're followed 24/7. You have a behavioral analyst, there's a director, a coordinator. I mean, whoa. None of this stuff is by accident. So Dr. Petruzziello, who I've never met, I mean, if I lived, what am I going to do? Go to your office and flip stuff over and get in your face? Hell no. If anything, everybody that's executing this stuff, that's under this system, whether they like it or not, they're going to execute it. Believe me when I tell you. Well, no hard feelings, Mr. Petruzziello, because, again, it was an authorization. You were directed to do such. And you know who I have a beef with? The people that made this all happen. The people that provided the authorization. The people that did whatever they needed to do to get the authorization. Okay? This is a horrid system. Horrid. Satanic. Evil. I have never seen such evil in my life until I investigated my own situation and fought for myself. And I'm going to continue to fight for myself and stand up for myself. There's just no way I'm going along with this crap. I haven't gone along with it yet, and I'm not going to ever go along with it. Okay? It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible what this system can do.